Now I don't know if I powered the camera down or not. No, I didn't. So we'll power the camera down. Just push and hold. Powers down. The remote will power down on itself when it realizes that there's no signal. Also, a great thing about that camera is you can have multiple cameras programmed for the same remote. So you push a button, 3 cameras turn on. Kind of cool. I only have the one though. Now, when you see me in the car with it behind me, sometimes in front of me, normally I use my phone for quick videos, but if my intro and outro and things like that, and there's editing done, I'm generally using this camera here in the car, and I use this mount. Now this isn't a regular mount. This was a Magellan GPS mount that I had on the windshield, and somebody broke into the car and stole the GPS. There was a big plate on the side. I took that off and just stuck one of the Drift Ghost mounts to it, so now I have a good suction cup mount. Didn't cost me anything but the little $3 mount that Drift Ghost sells. And you can buy them, you know, with the tape already on them. So I have a bunch of those as well. Now with that, I have a dual camera adapter. This will allow me to mount both cameras if I want on here, and also in the bottom here let me put it on the tripod or whatever. It'll also let me mount an external microphone or an external light that I'll show you later. So very good to have. Other than the various, you know, sticky mounts for that, I'm not going to get into all that. With that, I use just a cheap, I think I paid $5 for it. I don't even know what the brand is, unfortunately, to help you. Lapel Mic. Now this one has a nice long cord, but I also picked up an extension. This is a 12-foot extension. This will give me like 15, 18 feet of lapel, corded lapel mic, which is nice to have, especially in the car when I have it mounted way behind me. I can bring this all the way up front, pin it, and it's good. Or if I'm out doing something outside near the fire, I can have the camera further away and still be able to use the lapel mic. So just a 1/8 inch stereo extender extension cable with the lapel mic. I do have another lapel mic that came with a Sony, I think it's a WC99 wireless mics. WCS99. Now these got great reviews. I'm totally disappointed with them at this point. It was $79 or $89 that I didn't need to spend. Came with this lapel mic here. Totally horrible. In fact, I don't think I'll ever use it. We'll throw that away. I just use the cheaper mic, wireless mic that goes right to it. So there's a lot of great features on the wireless mic, especially the Sonys, but I wasn't impressed with the quality. So I still have to play around with that. Got a lot of interference, so I have to figure out why. So I haven't been using that. That's that small stuff. For still photography, things like that, and some video, I have the Canon, the Rebel T3, just your basic 35mm DSLR. I have a one lens for it. Well, 2 lenses, one that's on here, and I have another 200mm, 300mm lens. It's great. It's got image stabilization. It's a good camera. I can't say it's a great camera, but for a 35mm to take, you know, artistic photos, it works very well. It works especially well with stock photography. I do sell some stock photography online through Getty Images as well as Shutterstock, 123RF are just some of the few. And I have other bits and pieces for that. You know, here's the other lens. I put UV filters on them, and you know, just your basic, pretty standard stuff for DSLR. One thing, when I have my camera bags, I always carry a couple gallon Ziploc bags, especially for the DSLR. I don't have to worry about it with the micro cameras, the Ghost or the Contour, but get stuck in a rainstorm, something like that, I like to just throw the cameras into a Ziploc bag. Also going from cold, damp environments to dry environments and vice versa. Put it in a bag, take it outside, and you won't have that lens fog that you get a lot. This is my case for the Canon Vixia. I think it's an R50, but we'll find out when I hook up one of the other cameras, and then we'll do that. I have a condenser mic for that. It's just a cheap, you know, it's on a rubber mount condenser mic. It's decent. Works better outdoors because it's got the good shield on it for wind noise, things like that. Came with the package when I bought the camera. Same thing with the LED light. It also has almost the same adapter, except this adapter allows you to put the microphone on the bottom, the light on the top, and plus the camera, plus it allows you to screw in the tripod, which is nice. It's various cables, screen protectors, things like that, just basic stuff. So that's pretty much it. That's my camera. Oh, wait, we got one more thing. This one here, this is my webcam. Now, this I haven't messed with too much. This is the one I used for the blacktop kitchens. This is the Logitech 920C, I think it is. It has the dual microphones. It's a great camera. It has some great features. I've had no problems with it at all. I think all my problems with blacktop kitchen has been my user problems, you know, myself creating problems, and the fact that I'm having broadband issues here at the house. I have a very slow upload. I have a 15 or 16 meg download, but I have like a 1 meg upload that's variable. It's fluttering all over the place, so I keep losing signals trying to upload things. Uploading one video takes hours for me when I'm here. But I did find a mobile hotspot in a parking lot that gave me 5 meg upload and 25 meg download free. So I use that Wi-Fi app that I showed in one of my previous videos. If I can, I'll put a link in, or a little annotation box or something like right here. Now I'm going to use this in the camper as well, and in the RV when I eventually get one, to do some of my live broadcasting as well as just video chat and type stuff like that. So that's the Logitech 920C. Great webcam. I want to say it was like 70 bucks, 80 bucks, somewhere around there. I'd like to get another one actually. And that's pretty much it, other than my Ziploc bags and that camera there. So why don't I plug in the Drift Ghost. And we'll put it on the small tripod here. Now I'm picking the Drift Ghost over this one because it has the display. And what that'll allow me to do, now because I'm mounted this, I'm actually 1080p, 30 frames. Now this one will do 60 frames. Field of vision is 70 degrees at standard exposure. Also takes a micro SD. Let's see if we can get a little extra height out of it. And then I'll see what the this one here, we have to turn the lens because of the way it's mounted. If you can see that, I hope so. Now you're going to be kind of pointing down. Half of my head is going to be cut off here. I can see that in the screen there. I'll plug in the external microphone on the Drift Ghost. Now the quality here is going to be horrible. I don't have high hopes for that. Unfortunately, there's just not much more I can do about it. You know something, I can turn this one on as well. Let's move some of these bags out of the way. So this one is on as well. I don't have another tripod for it. I think maybe if I can just set it on this, I think. We'll see. Now, I'm going to have to take this one here and just use it as a point and shoot type camera. So we'll shut it off. Turn this one on. Test 1, 1, 2. All right, so let's switch over to this camera here, and I'll show you the Canon Vixia. Alright, so this is, let me bring this up here. Alright, this is the Canon Vixia. Okay, I don't have a mount for the microphone or a clip with me, but shuts off. This one here is the Canon Vixia HF R52, if you can see that there. Now, I bought this as a package online. It came with the extended battery as well as another battery. It came with the light that I showed you as well as the condenser microphone. One of the things that disappoints me about this camera is there's no shoe mount on the camera itself, which would make things much easier instead of having to use that bracket piece. It has a 32 optical zoom that I find is more than adequate. It's got a built-in 32 gig. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how well this camera's picking that up. It has a built-in 32 gig memory, and it is also Wi-Fi. Now, I haven't gotten the Wi-Fi to work with my HTC One yet, but I really don't need it to. So it's not. I didn't use it. Shouldn't say that. I didn't purchase it for that feature. It just kind of came with it. Now, one thing I do like about this camera is it is an HD CMOS sensor. It has optical and digital image stabilization, which is awesome. I gotta tell you, this camcorder here has had the best image stabilization of any camera I've ever had. I've moved it like this and have gotten a good video. So that's one plus to this camera. Now, if you open it up, it turns on automatically, has your basic screens. It is a touch screen with some effects and things like that that I do not use. Has an HDMI port right here, external microphone as well as headphones, your USB, and it is also a micro SD, a regular SD card inside. I use a 32 gig card inside and the 32 gig onboard memory. So yeah, it's a great camera. It's got a 57 times digital zoom with the 32 optical. Just overall, great camera. Right around the I can't say that. I think it was more like 3 change. The whole kit and caboodle with all the accessories. Came with a tripod as well, which I'll show you in a minute when I put this back on the tripod. I think the whole thing was in the mid 400s. So that's the Canon Vixia HFR52. Not a bad camera. Alright, now I'm going to swap out cameras again. Put this one back on the tripod, and then I'll show you some of the mounts that I use and poles and tripods.